Hey, I'm Josh. Today we're going to break down an old jazz standard from the 1940s. The tune is I Should Care, and I'm going to show you three fundamental concepts you can learn by studying it. I Should Care is a fantastic standard for beginners, or if you're just starting to explore jazz harmony. The song is harmonically quite simple, and it features some classic jazz harmonic structures. In particular, there are three concepts here that I want to point out to you. The first concept I want to show you is the use of 2/5s, both major and minor. The 2/5 is one of those basic building blocks of jazz harmony, but a lot of my early students underestimate just how prevalent this progression is in our standards, so I really want to dive deep into that. If you want to follow along, there's a lead sheet that I put together for you. It's down in the description. You can download it totally free. Just to refresh your memory, here's what a major 2/5-1 sounds like. And here's a minor 2/5-1. Okay, take a glance at this lead sheet. If I highlight all the 2/5s, you're going to see just how prevalent they are. Practically speaking, the entire tune is made up of 2/5s. So there's a 2/5 to C, there's a 2/5 to D, there's a minor 2/5 to D minor, there's a minor 2/5 to A minor, there's a 2/5 to F. All the rest are repeats. But literally the entire song is made up of 2/5s. When we see 2/5s in a song, we see them in all different keys, not just in the key that the song is primarily in. So for example, I Should Care is in the key of C, but we see 2/5s from all over the place. It's totally normal. This is like a fleeting moment where we're just setting up the next chord we're going to. It's also important to notice that we often omit the 1 at the end. The 2/5 sets up resolution to the 1, but it's common just to jump somewhere else instead. That 2/5 sound on its own is just part of the jazz sound, even without the full resolution. So here, let me comp through the changes of I Should Care and just show you what it sounds like. The second concept is tonicizing the 2 chord. And this just means we're temporarily setting up a chord progression that resolves to the 2 instead of resolving it to the 1. Tonicization is just a crazy word that means to treat some chord as the 1 chord even though it's not really the 1 chord. Within a key, the 1 chord is called the tonic. So if we tonicize something, it just means we're going to treat it like it is the tonic. Here in I Should Care, we're in the key of C and our 5 chord is G7. Let's say we were going to tonicize into the key of D. In that case, our 5 chord would now be A7. It's the 5 of D, not G7, the 5 of C. Typically, when we're talking about a tonicization like this, we're only talking about a brief moment in the music. It's similar to a key change or modulation in that we're going to switch to think in this new key, but it's super temporary. We're usually back in our original key in just a flash. Let's look again at this opening phrase. We're in the key of C, and we start with a 2/5 in that key. But then we immediately play a 2/5 in the key of D. That A7 chord does not belong in the key of C. It belongs in the key of D. Immediately after that, though, we play a 2/5-1 and we land in C major. We never formally left the key of C. We didn't change the key signature. We just kind of glanced off for a moment at the key of D, and then we came back in line. This specific chord progression is really common. We tonicize the 2 major chord with this 2/5, but then instead of actually resolving to the key of D major, we immediately flipped back to the key of C. We still land on D, but since we're in the key of C, now it's D minor, and that acts as a 2 in the 2/5 back to our home key of C. This little sidestep into other keys is really common. It just adds a little harmonic interest. But we run into it in other tunes too. So for example, here it is in Satin Doll. The third concept I want to show you is called the backdoor. And let's take a look at the second line where we see this F minor to B flat 7. Now these chords are a 2-5 in the key of E flat major, but E flat is really far away from our home key of C. E flat strongly suggests C minor, and that's just a long journey to get back home. So what's actually going on here? A dominant 7th chord typically resolves down a 5th, because the 3rd and 7th of that chord have strong voice leading and a resolution to the 1 chord from there. If we make a dominant chord on the flat 7, like in our B flat 7 here in the key of C, that also has very strong voice leading back to the 1 chord. It's not quite as strong as the 5, but it's really compelling. So if you make a 2-5 where this B flat 7 is the 5, you get this F minor to B flat 7. Stick the C on the end of it as the resolution, and that's what we call the backdoor progression. You might see this as a 2-5 to the flat 3. You might see this called 4 minor 7 to flat 7 dominant. It's the same thing. It's just a 2-5 where the 5 resolves up a whole step instead of down a 5th. Let's take a trip through the song, shall we? I used to have a series on this channel where I would break down recordings and we would transcribe them and deconstruct them and see what we could learn from them. Unfortunately, as this channel has gotten bigger, lawyers have shown up and threatened to take down videos. I think a video like this is a fun way to do something similar to that, but without having to fight copyright and the burden of fair use challenges. If you like this kind of video and you want to see me break down more tunes like this, let me know that just by gently tapping the like button or leave a comment down below. And while you're here, I think you might also enjoy this video I did about Jacob Collier's common tone modulation in Fix You. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week.